I experienced with versus Super Mario Brothers. Now, you might be wondering, Alan, why are you just reviewing SMB1 again? And to that I say, I don't know. I wanted to play Super Mario Brothers 1, but on my Nintendo Switch. So, versus Super Mario Brothers was born. And it's also on the Nintendo Switch. For anyone that also wants to know, I'm going to give you like some brief history on versus Super Mario Brothers before we get right into this. So, versus Super Mario Bros. Was actually an arcade version of Super Mario Bros. On the NES. And basically, this game contains levels from the complete original Super Mario Brothers for the NES, but it also piles in and throws in some levels, only some levels, not all of them, from Super Mario Brothers The Lost levels. It also throws in levels from that, and basically, versus Super Mario Bros. Is a combination of both of those games meshed together. But Alex, didn't Super Mario Brothers Deluxe do this? You're right, my friend. Versus Super Mario Bros. Deluxe for the Game Boy did do this. Did do this as well, but they also added even more content in that game, which I will probably make my experience on that game sometime in the future. Even though I am just playing Super Mario Brothers 1 again for like the, what is it time now? Okay, I played the original NES like multiple times. I've played the Game Boy. I played the Game Boy Color version, like the Game Boy Advanced version of SMB1. I played Super Mario Bros. Deluxe before. The Super Mario All-Stars version of Super Mario Brothers 1. Now versus Super Mario Brothers 1. That's like 5 different versions of the same fucking game. Let's see. Like Mario Maker, all that other stuff. Look, I have played Super Mario Brothers 1 a million fucking times, okay? I just haven't, like, talked about it too much on the channel, okay? Because, wasn't a lot of reasons to. But time at Lord Dracon, hello, how you doing? Now, let's talk Super Mario Brothers. So as you guys all know, let's show you guys the gameplay. Alright, 1 for 2 players. Y'all already know the infamous Mario gameplay. Alright, you run, you jump on enemies and stuff, you know what I mean? That is the gameplay of versus Super Mario Brothers. Really, virtually, like, no changes to, like, Mario's sprite, or no changes to the level design. All the level design from the original Super Mario Bros. 1 is in here and accounted for, so meaning all of its secrets, so you can get through the game quicker is here, etc., 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 right? And that means Super Mario Brothers vs. Super Mario Brothers also comes with SMB1's problems. Now, what are Super Mario Brothers 1's problems? Well, it's really when you enter, like, the later Bowser castles and they lock you in a loop that you have to solve and figure out all on your own before you can progress through the castles. Now, as you guys know, I fucking hate Bowser Castles in SMB1 because of this, and New Super Mario Brothers also did follow up on this later on, but in New Super Mario Brothers 1, it's nowhere near as bad or nowhere near as hard as SMB1's freaking Bowser Castles. Now, the early Bowser Castles, they don't do this, but like once you get later into the game, they become like that. And I don't know why versus Super Mario Bros. Or just Super Mario Bros. 1 in general kind of still does that puzzle-ish shit. I know like in a lot more Mario games, they kind of let go of that idea of the Bowser Castle. So it's like, well, Alan, why are you bitching and complaining? This is just Mario Bros. 1 for the Switch. Why are you complaining about such a small issue? Because it's not a small issue to me. Because if you guys remember my playthrough on this game, it took me a while to do this, and I had to fucking look it up. By the way, I have a full playthrough of versus Super Mario Bros. On this channel. I know a lot of my playthroughs get forgotten about on this channel, which kind of makes sense because, you know, how are you supposed to remember that I did versus Super Mario Bros. Like 2, 3, 4 months ago, okay, as like a full dedicated playthrough on the channel, okay? It was only like 2 videos on my channel of versus Super Mario Bros. Before this one, okay? So, there's a lot of stuff. Mo, Diddy, and Ball, I don't even know what any of that means. Let me know if it's like inappropriate or not. You know, because a lot of people want to come in here and make me say things, and then I say it, and then I feel like it's offensive to some type of culture, etc., etc. Aaron Walrus. Walrus. Welcome to the channel, bro. But yeah, that's basically versus Super Mario Bros. In a nutshell, right? You can play Mario. I think you can play Luigi. Yeah, I think you can play Luigi as second player. And Anthony, what's up, brother? Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? But yeah, that's like versus Super Mario Bros. Y'all know the gameplay, the infamous levels from Super Mario Brothers 1 and a little bit of Lost Levels. I don't think, if I can remember correctly, I don't think they added like the real bullshit ones from Lost Levels, aka the original Super Mario Brothers 2, in terms of levels. Because you guys got to remember, Lost Levels, aka Japan Super Mario Brothers 2, had a lot of bullshit level design. Okay? Because you guys got to remember, they're in Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2. I don't even know your cousin, so I can't really say anything about that. So, but anyways, in the original Japan Super Mario Brothers 2, there was level design where there was invisible blocks all the time. There was giant walls where you were forced to figure out where's the invisible blocks in order to jump over the wall. Or if there was you had to do in the back of the stage instead of in the front of the stage, instead of always needing to go right. And it always fucked with your head. And I think they might have added 1 or 2 of those type of stages in versus Super Mario Bros. It has been a fat minute since I played it. And, you know, yeah, I think it is still on my Switch, actually, funny enough. But, you know, I wanted to... So, Alex, what's your excuse to review this game? What's your excuse? What makes this game so different? The fact that they decided to put SMB 1 on the Switch. I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, when I saw versus Super Mario Bros. In that goddamn Nintendo Switch store, I sat there and I was like, ooh. And also, Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man was in there. Sonic 1, Sonic 2 was in there. I don't know why not Sonic 3, but whatever. I don't know. I just saw Super Mario Bros. And the OG Punch-Out games. Because that's what kind of got me on the retro arcades on Nintendo Switch selection. Because I saw Super Mario Brothers and I was like, okay, they got SMB 1 on the Switch for $7 to $8. By the way, that's actually true. $7 to $8. That's how much these games are actually. How much they are. For some reason, I don't know why, but Punch-Out used to be dark. What's going on? Tadabaka. Welcome. For some reason on Nintendo Switch, they used to be higher in price, like the retro arcade games. The arcade archive games used to be more expensive. Like, I remember both Punch-Out games were like $10 a piece. And I was sitting there like, why are they 10 or 11 bucks a piece? They're not 10 bucks. They're like 10, 11 bucks each. And I was like, why are they 10, 11 bucks when these are 20 to 30-year-old fucking video games? Just make them $2. Well, matter of fact, my dad yesterday proved a really good point. And it was when we were somewhat watching Rocky, because we found a Rocky 1, because I was actually going to watch the first Rocky movie. But it relates to what's going on. And you know, my dad was kind of like, why do we still need to spend money on fucking 30 to 40-year-old movies? They should be fucking free. And I was sitting there like, that makes me question, why the fuck was Punch-Out Arcade trying to make a profit? When, yeah, that made me think, like, why is... I mean, I get it. SMB 1 is like a legendary title, so of course it's going to cost something. But why did it have to cost $8? And is this game worth it for $8? I mean, if you love SMB like 1, bro, because people need to eat too. Yeah, true, but like not everyone is playing like arcade Punch Out. You know what I'm saying? Like I would argue a very small select few are even gonna bother playing the arcade Punch Outs. So it's like they should have just been free games you can put on your Switch at any time. To be completely honest with you. And then arcade Super Mario Brothers, I would argue that yes, it should cost money to buy, like to play this, but like it shouldn't cost too much. I'm gonna say like, probably like, I don't know. I don't know the right pricing, but maybe like $3 to $4 but for SMB1, you know what I mean? For SMB1, who smashed Peach more, Mario or Bowser? That is a good question. I have no idea. It's inflation, bro. They need to make money off the games. It's their livelihood. No one's giving handouts to anyone. That's just how it is. Yeah. Games getting released is a whole process, and I think the rightful creator should always get paid for their hard work. Yeah. And Retro Archives did fucking port an arcade game to a console, so that must have been insane. They need to pay the sound designers and everything. Yeah, probably didn't take that many people to design Mario Bros. But yeah, like, is Super Mario Bros. For the arcade machines? AKA, you know, moved to the Nintendo Switch. And by the way, versus Super Mario Bros. Is only on the Nintendo Switch now. You have to buy it over there on the Switch. Unless you find, like, an arcade ROM of it. Or you have the actual versus Super Mario Bros. Arcade machine. Other than that method, which is probably going to be way more expensive, get the Switch version. It may not be the authentic versus Super Mario Bros. Arcade-like experience, but it's still originally an arcade game. And would I recommend this to Super Mario Brothers fans? Yes, I would. And you want to know why I'd recommend it? It's because it is Super Mario Brothers 1. If you don't have it already on another console, like for example the Wii, Super Mario All-Stars for the Wii, which didn't really change anything and takes out Super Mario World. You know what I mean? Do you think Peach got kidnapped on purpose to go with Bowser? I think so. Or emulate if you know how. Yeah, you could emulate it, but I only recommend that shit as a last resort. You know what I mean? And emulating arcade games, I noticed, is way harder than emulating like a freaking NES, Nintendo 64, etc., etc. You know, you have to go through all sorts of shit with arcade and really old DOS games and shit. It's a whole process with that. But yes, I do recommend this game for Super Mario fans to kind of give them like a refresher on where it all began with SMB1 and SMB2. You know, a mix of the original SMB2 anyway. Like, kind of like a mixture of both games to kind of be like, you know what? This was a fun experience because for me, when I was playing it, I thought this game was fucking fun. I loved it. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to find my own videos and we're going to, like, check them out. What were you saying about movies? I was saying, like, the reason I mentioned movies was because, yeah, it's not perfect, but I prefer it since I get to play all those games like my 3DS or Switch without carrying the bulky-ass hardware it needs. True. You know. But anyways, what I was saying about movies was we were trying to watch Rocky because, you know, most Punch-Out fans are into Rocky. You can't blame them. That's a pretty good fucking movie. And I didn't even know Rocky had video games, but I was gonna go ahead and make some shit about that. But anyways, yeah, all my Mario Bros. Videos are showing now. But yeah, the first video was 3 months ago, and then 2 months ago when we finished it. But anyways, so as I was saying was about Rocky. I said, why is Rocky like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 bucks to rent when it's a 30-year-old fucking movie? You know what I mean? But anyways. Alright, so right now, I don't usually do this in my live experience videos. I usually show other people's footage. But this is what the Switch menu looks like. So when you open the game, you have Versus Super Mario Bros., you have Carnival mode, and you also have High Score mode. Every single arcade archives video game does this. They have this menu, and also when we start playing, I'm gonna get into the level and show you guys. So when you die and stuff, it's kind of weird. The save state system is kind of weird in this game, and yes, they do have save states in this game. Look, I'm gonna show you right now. You have all those settings right there, right? And yes, this is the problem with the save state system. This is actually a problem with the Nintendo Switch version I wanted to bring up. Every time you want to save in the game, well, it's mainly created for speedrunners. Probably is. I have no idea. But anyways, this is the problem I have with the save state system. That's why they have streaming platforms. Streaming platforms, what? Oh, to watch those movies. Yeah. Yeah, but like, do I really want to pay $9-10 for a subscription service to watch one movie? I'm about to just go find it, bruh. You know what I mean? I'm about to go find it on DVD. One buy, one purchase. About to be on DVD. But anyways, the problem I have with the save stating in this game is that you have to back out of the entire fucking game and then go back in when you save. And that's how you load it back. Is you gotta not close out the entire application, but just press the pause button, go all the way down to reboot up the game or some shit. I can't remember the setting name. And then reload it back up at the low that you were at. And honestly, that shit in this Nintendo Switch version of Versus Super Mario Bros. Is infinitely more annoying. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It was very annoying when I was playing Arcade Punch-Out, the Arcade Punch-Out games. It was very annoying when I played Versus Super Mario Brothers. And that's probably the one, like, massive issue I have with the emulation. So you can't save from... No, you can save within the game as well. You can save, like, anywhere. But you can't, like, load back within the game. Like, basically what you have to do... I'll show you. So the footage here that I just showed off, right? I jumped, I died... And basically, you have to scroll all the way down to back to title screen. You have to go back to the title screen every single time you want to reload that data. So create an interrupt save data. You click this whenever you feel like you want to save. It saves that spot. But then you have to go all the way back to title screen and then reboot up the menu. Press plus on the little big old screen right there, like Versus Super Mario Bros. The original mode. And then you're back to where you had that interrupt save data. That's why I'm like, yo, that's kind of a problem and kind of annoying because you can tell my playthrough, I died a lot and you guys were seeing that screen a lot. So just like me, you guys are seeing that screen awfully a lot. And most emulators, if not all emulators, do not do this. Literally every single emulator you have ever seen fucking ever has a save system. And then when you press that load, they load you right back to that point. You don't need to close out the entire game and then go back to title screen, then click back into the game to do so. Even if it is in game, it's still a little BS how I have to constantly do that every single time I want to put a save right there. It's like, why? Why? You know what I mean? Why? And then as well, what's even more bullshit, get this, is the game reset is right next to the title screen. So, say this, you're trying to get back to your game, as long as possible, right? You're trying to get back to your game as quick as possible. You accidentally press game reset, and what this does is it resets your entire game, and your interrupt save data goes all the way too. So you can't even load back from your interrupt save data. So don't ever, whenever you get this game, don't ever press game reset because it will wipe all your data that you had before when you were getting through the game with the save feature and shit. So fun fact, another reason I prefer emulators is because you can save state, you can save the state of the game. Yeah, exactly. Well, this also saves the state of your game, but it's just you have to go through a whole title screen again, or go back to the main title screen just to reload it. At least with emulators, like you just said, it reloads it immediately. You're right back into the action immediately. The save state feature isn't as bad. And I've only been going on for like 19 minutes, around 20 minutes, like so, like around there, Dark, to answer your question. But yeah, that can get annoying. Yeah, so streaming platforms suck though. Most of the time, they don't have the movies you want. Exactly. And then not only you get a streaming platform with the movies that you don't have, but then also another thing that happens is that you would have to get a VPN to bypass that issue and just pretend you're in a different location just to get those movies. So you're also paying extra to actually have a possible chance to find those movies on that same streaming service. That's why streaming services suck. That's why I'm like, dude, just give me my fucking movie from the store. That's why Blockbuster would have been, well, just go to a regular store or go to dollar store or whatever and find like movies, and they're like $1, $2 a pop. You know what I'm saying? And also, all the bosses from versus Super Mario Brothers are like the exact same. So like all of it is just Bowser all over again, and Peach is the same. Usual Dark. I think since the game came out, it's very recently released. Yeah, it's more counterintuitive, waste of time. Exactly. Versus Super Mario Brothers. I can't remember when it came out. I know when it came out originally, way back in the day, but like for Switch, I can't tell you an exact point it came out, but I definitely do recommend this game to anybody that wants like a version of SMB1 that isn't like a re-released version, or well, it is kind of re-released, but if you want like a version of Super Mario Brothers 1 where you go through like a mix, you don't really care about you just want like an SMB1 like experience, but on your Nintendo Switch so you can take it on the go. And I think Retro Archives did a really good job with versus Super Mario Bros. In my opinion. You know, it's not absolutely horrible. It's not a shit game. It's not. Would you ever mod your Switch, and why? Okay, this is actually a good question. The reason why I wouldn't mod my Switch is because I can get in trouble for that, and it's way too recent of a console to be modding on, in my opinion. Like, this is like this. I'm gonna say this too, so keep this in mind. This is about emulation and all that other sort of stuff. So it's gonna kind of coincide with that. And modding and hijacking or whatever the right term for your console. Okay. Anyways, so let me explain this. If your console is 7 to 10, like let's say 10 years old, right? Or the creators of that console aren't really using that hardware anymore. They just aren't. Right? I feel like it's okay to mod your 10, 12-year-old console. But since Nintendo is still technically using the Nintendo Switch right now and they haven't moved on to their next thing, it's still technically their most recent console out there. And I know that that's a real technicality. But it's like, I would wait until they move the fuck on from the Switch. Like, not entirely, but just move on from the Switch. Like, that's not their, so until it gets removed from support like 3DS. No, not until it loses support. I'm saying until Nintendo moves on. Like, the new console is really what they care about. And, like, then it's like, once Nintendo gets off yeah, Switch 2 is right around the corner anyway. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, when Nintendo moves to Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever they're going to call it, and, you know what I'm saying? And, what is it? That's when it's like, okay. And plus, it has been 7 years. You got a point. So 7, like 8 years, or until the creators move on. That's when I feel like it's okay to mod. It's okay to fucking put shit on there that you wanted. Because I'm thinking of, like, the Wii and shit. Wii U. I'm like, that is bench okay. Go ahead and mod the fuck out of that. But since Switch is, like, still, like, their newest baby in the oven right now, and they haven't moved to Nintendo Switch 2, I would wait till you move to Nintendo Switch 2 to really fully utilize that shit. Well, I'd like to fully utilize what I bought. I got bored of the Switch, and I enjoy modding Nintendo systems. You know what? I can't even, like, be, like, against that, because that sounds cool as fuck. That you like modding your Nintendo consoles and stuff, being able to play everything in the library. I mean, and on top of that, like, Nintendo, especially if Nintendo gets rid of any way you can buy games, that's even more reason why to go ahead and just do that. Now look, Nintendo, if you watch this video, I'm just saying, I would put every single game you ever made on a console so people can go ahead and keep buying it. Or actually get your Nintendo Switch online service to actually have better games. Because I'm going to be straight up honest. Most of the games for the Super Nintendo, NES, and Game Boy right now have just shit catalog of games. I'm going to be honest. Like after the Mario, the Donkey Kong, the Zeldas, and the Metroids, for all those, and the Punch-Outs, most of those other games are just not it. Most. I am thinking of playing Battletoads, like making my experience on Battletoads. That sounds fucking badass. Have you ever heard of The Collector? No, I have not. Lol, I just hope they fix online and eShop for Switch too. That would be fucking awesome if they can do that. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much entirely versus Super Mario Brothers. I know this video wasn't too long. I do have a 9 o'clock stream to do, so I'll probably be back with like another My Experience video, and it'll probably be longer than this one. I just wanted to finally make a My Experience video on versus Super Mario Bros. Because I felt like this game right here versus Super Mario Bros. I feel like not a lot of people even know it exists. You know, it's a video game on the Nintendo Switch. You can buy it right now at this time of the recording. Or live stream, I mean, not recording. I keep saying recording, live stream, bleh. You know what I mean. Pineapples are fireproof. Okay. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to shed some light on a video game that doesn't really get that much love, you know? So, why not give it some love? But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, also comment, and subscribe. And then also, you know, the membership is optional. There's 3 tiers of my membership. There's also the donation button. And if you want to donate, you can do those things. Those are optional. You know, but just watching and liking the video and commenting back and forth with me already is enough support. But anyways, take care, guys. And also, make sure you buy first Super Mario Brothers. It's actually a pretty damn good game in the retro archives. And I might look for more through that retro archive shit. I might look for more games like the original Pac-Man. Should make My Experience on the original Pac-Man. I mean, the original Pac-Man's also on the NES, isn't it? So you know what? I still haven't played Pac-Man World 2, so I'm kind of hurt. Love to play Pac-Man World 2 for my GameCube. Only Louie could find it. You know, that'd be fucking sick. You know? Okay. Alan ended it. Okay.